Hello and welcome to week 12. It is a Tuesday night. Yesterday was just a very chaotic day at work. Came home and did nothing. I have a wild story I'll tell you soon about what happened at the supermarket. Apple crumble. There you go, baby.
Just put it in.
I had a lovely massage today after work. I went straight to Northland in Dodder and had the Relax Express and it was perfect. I think a half an hour massage is perfect. Like the hour I had last time I had one was great as well, but I think you get to like, there's still 15 minutes left to go and you usually get busting for a pee and then you don't enjoy it. So half an hour is like that nice sweet spot. And the story time I want to tell you about, I went to the supermarket just down the road after I walked Frankie because I wanted to just grab a couple of things. Went into the supermarket, was headed towards the dog food section. This woman like approached me. She kind of looked normal at first. We were kind of near some staff and I thought she might have been like going to go ask them something. But then she started to look really distressed and then she started yelling at me. She said, "Can you stop following me? You've been following me and stop following me." And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, are you talking to me? Like, she's like, "Stop following me. It's getting ridiculous. No need to follow me." And I don't remember what else she said. And I was like, "I'm sorry, I'm not following you. I'm just here to grab my food, like some food for my dog." And then I think she went on about like, "Of course you'd say that, getting food for your dog," or whatever she said. And then the staff come up to me and said, "Look, don't worry about what she's saying because she's schizophrenic." I was like, "Oh, okay." So then I just like carried on with my shopping. I was still a bit shaken. I was like, "Oh, this is weird." So kind of forgot what I even went into the fucking supermarket to get, to be honest. Grabbed Frankie some food and then I forgot what I even needed there for myself. So honestly just bought the most random things that I didn't even need and came home without even buying what I fucking needed. But I had to go back around to a different aisle to grab something and she was there and she just like, it was freaky. And then so I just went a different way. I was like, I'm not dealing with this. Then I went to the checkout and she was there and I was like behind where she was and she was talking to the cashier, like saying that, you know, people were following her and that people know what's going on and they're acting like they don't, and that people were trying to murder her daughter or something. And then she pointed at me and she was like, she knows what's going on. She's the co-conspirator. And like, I was like, what the fuck is going on right now? Like, this is fucking wild. Anyway, the cashier responded, "Maybe she doesn't know what's going on." She finally left and I went up to check out. And the woman was, "I'm so sorry." She's like, "She's come in here before. She's obviously schizophrenic." I'm like, "Yeah, I was talking to some of the staff down the back." And then she said, last time she was in here, she was with her daughter, who was about 15 years old. And her daughter was very embarrassed and said, "Mum, stop acting like that. You're imagining it. It's not real. Like, you're embarrassing me," kind of thing. I'm like, it's like, oh my god, I kind of feel sorry for her daughter, like, and for her. Like, it's fucked up. It makes me wonder, like, what is the correct way to respond to people when they're going through obviously a big schizophrenic episode? Like, that was wild. Like, should she have not like been with someone? Like, anyway, then I left the supermarket and she was there waiting for me when I came out, and she kind of came up to me and was like, "I don't think I don't know what you're up to. I know who you are. You," like, just coming at me with all these accusations. And I just kind of, I tried to walk, like, still walk the way I needed to go to get home, but like walked well away from where she was standing, and she still came at me. And I was like, I just looked at her and I was like, "I don't know who you are, sorry," and just kept walking. Like, what else am I supposed to say? It's a really, really wild Tuesday night. Weird. Anyway, I'm gonna go watch the rest of Married at First Sight because I was watching the first half on Slay's iPad and it died. So now I'm gonna go watch it and then go to sleep. And just quickly, my basal body temperature is plummeting, so that means that my period should arrive tonight or tomorrow, which would make sense because usually I have about 45 days. As you can see there, it says 45. So yeah, it shall arrive very soon. This week too, Slough and I have Thursday off to go to a fertility specialist, so I'm quite excited to go to that and get a little bit of insight and to learn a little bit more about what we can be doing to maximise our chances of having our family. Hello, it is now Thursday, the day of the fertility specialist. We are about to leave, so that was just having a shower and then we'll be on the road because it's all the way down in Caulfield North, which is like an hour's drive away. I'm really excited for this appointment and to get more of an insight into what's going on. Obviously I'm on metformin and I think that's making me ovulate. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, I'm really excited to go to this appointment and get some more insight. I've also listened to a podcast this morning about trying to conceive with PCOS, and I don't know why I haven't listened to more podcasts about stuff like that. And I've not learned some information because it's all information I knew, but just to hear it in a different way sometimes is really helpful. And I wrote down some notes. Getting a blood flow, brushing is important, especially with PCOS because the PCOS can slow that down. The environment of the uterus is important because once ovulation has happened and an embryo has implanted itself, the progesterone levels need to stay high and your androgen levels need to be lowered. So this is something that a woman with PCOS get affected by too. So that could explain why I did have a chemical pregnancy. So then the podcast interviewer asked, how do we make sure the environment of the uterus supports a baby once we do get to that stage? Which, this is what she said, you need to maintain a healthy weight, exercise regularly, manage your stress, which is like getting good sleep helps with that, balanced diet, so fruits, vegetables, lean protein and healthy fats, so the whole foods thing again, and having a healthy amount of vitamin D. And then she said something else I didn't understand, so but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if when I go to this appointment similar things come up, or if there's a whole new can of worms. Like they'll probably want me to do a whole lot of new testing and everything like that, so it will be very, very interesting to see what's coming up next. I'm feeling in a relatively positive space about it. Like it's only recently that I've learned that the LH strips are not reliable for women with PCOS and that my ovulation window is entirely a different time than what I thought. So once we pinpoint a fertile window and understand when I am ovulating, if I am ovulating, then it's going to be easy to move forward. And I think this is the main thing I want to get out of going to a fertility specialist, understanding I'm ovulating and how to make sure I am, or I understand when that is. And then also, to get some insight about how to move forward with PCOS and how to manage it, especially while trying to conceive. I will update you when we're out. Come for a wee stroll down to Watsonia to grab I got a milkshake and got a flat white. A lovely day today, 23 degrees, not too hot. See the moon. Perfect weather. It is currently Saturday evening, and so I was at the gym. We've had a very relaxed day. Went for a walk this morning down to grab a coffee and a milkshake, and that is what you saw. I have since made our dinner. A very relaxed weekend because We spent a lot of money at the fertility clinic this week. So I haven't actually shared what happened at the fertility specialist appointment. Basically we came out of the appointment feeling a little bit overwhelmed and underwhelmed all at the same time, because of course you go into these appointments, you kind of have a predetermined idea of what you want to happen, what you assume will happen, and then it doesn't always go that way. Like I kind of just assumed, based on where I'm at with my whole journey, is like I know that PCOS is my main hurdle. I assumed that she would see that and that I would be prescribed with letrozole or Clomid to induce ovulation, because I mean the metformin has helped me a lot, but I just don't think it's doing quite enough. But she wants to start, because it's the first time of us going in and meeting her, she just wants to cover a few more things, like she wants me to get a few more bloods checked that haven't been checked before apparently. She also wants me to get my tubes flushed out. She wants me to get another ultrasound just to do a double check of everything. And I need another iron infusion because my iron is quite low, and she's just going based off of my last blood test, which was like last October, I think. Last iron infusion was in August, and then so I had a follow-up blood test to see where my iron was at, and it was pretty low, higher than what it was. Then obviously I had my iron infusion. Because my iron was so low to begin with, the iron infusion boosted it a bit, but it was still pretty low. We left the appointment feeling very overwhelmed because there was a bunch of things that I needed to book in and do, and I just wasn't expecting that. I was just kind of expecting it to be like, hey, here's your prescription. Like, I almost expected her to ask about basal body temperature stuff as well, or, you know, LH strips, all that stuff. She didn't even touch on that, so that was a little bit confusing. Like, I kind of was like, oh. And it's not like we really had much of a conversation. It was more like she's spoken to my doctor, she had seen the forms and stuff that we filled out before we went in, and there wasn't really much of a conversation, which was a little bit disappointing. But Solar has to do two things too, but the specialist did say, well, she wasn't too concerned about Solar because obviously we've already had a positive pregnancy test, which is a good thing. And it seems to be that my cycle is what is causing us the issues at the moment. So she's not too concerned about Solar. But in saying that, she's like, we should test just to be sure. But Solar's a little bit uncomfortable with all that stuff. Can't force him to do something he doesn't want to do, so we're going to leave that for now. He's also sending me something in the mail because I was going to have to drive all the way to the other side of Melbourne to pick up this medication at this chemist. So she's sending it to me, can't remember what it is. When it arrives I will update, and I'm to take that alongside my metformin. She did say that it is likely the PCOS and that inducing ovulation with letrozole or Clomid is the next point of action to take after these appointments that we have. So yeah, that's where we're at. Going to a fertility specialist is so expensive too, and I think that was really like a kick in the gut when we went. It's like, oh, it was my whole paycheck for the week, so I could wait to be paid to even put petrol in my car, or, just live off the food in our fridge. So it is expensive. I'm waiting for my period. I'm on day 48 of my cycle, which I think last cycle I got my period on day 47, the cycle before that I got it on day 46. So hopefully it comes any moment now. I made a lentil mix with some mashed potatoes. This is usually what I'd put into my lentil pie, but I'm going to go without the pastry because it's the healthier option and it pretty much tastes the same.
Kevin was someone who really stayed in touch. He would text his mom.
This is asparagus fern and it is illegal in New Zealand to grow. It's beautiful. Frankie, it is Sunday night. I'm about to get into bed, watch Married at First Sight, deja vu of last week, then go to sleep. So I will love and leave you here. I'll see you next week. Bye.